In this video, we are going to be solving the golf code task, which is part of the JavaScript algorithms and data structures, which is found on the FreeCodeCamp website. So in this video, we are going to solve this. To understand what it's asking, what the task is actually asking us to do, it's asking us that when the function is called with the numbers in here, it has to return a certain string. And the string that it returns is dependent upon the actual number of strokes. So first of all, let's actually talk about a bit what par actually means. Par is the average number of strokes or shots that it takes for a golfer to put the ball into the hole. So it's expected that the golfer and hole number 5 should make that shot in 3 shots or 3 strokes. How many did he actually make it in? Well, he might have made it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. And dependent upon what that number is, that will determine what string should be returned. So what will we be using within the function? We will be using if, else if, and else. So to start with, we are going to use an if statement. And we are going to say hole in 1. So what would we put into here? We are going to say that strokes, which is a number of shots, think of it as that, is equal to 1. Because a hole in 1 is 1 shot. Then we want to return, and we want to return the string hole in 1. Now, whilst you can simply just do this, we don't need to do that in this situation, and that's because they have provided us an array called names, and in this array contains a series of strings that we actually need. So we are going to say that if the strokes is equal to 1, so in other words, if the person makes it in 1 shot, then I want the names array to be returned. However, we only want the hole in 1 to be returned. So how would we do this? Well, we would first of all put the square brackets in, and we would say that we want to reference where hole in 1 is positioned. Now, you may be tempted to put 1. However, in JavaScript, the way that it works is that it starts from position number 0. So this basically means that if a person makes a hole in 1, so if strokes is 1, and obviously 1 is equal to 1, then return names at position 0, which is the string hole in 1. Next, we have to work our way down now. So we have to put in eagle, birdie, par, bogey, double bogey, and go home. So to do this, we have to utilize a series of else if statements. And we're going to say that if strokes here for eagle is less than equal to par minus 2, then I want to return names at the position of 1. What this basically means is it's going to take the average, it's going to subtract it by 2, and it's going to check to see if that is less than or equal to the strokes, and then it's going to return names at the position of 1, which is eagle. Next is another else if. And now we have birdie, which is simply just strokes is equal to par minus 1. And that will return, you can see probably where I'm going with this, position 2. Now perhaps you are able now to continue and solve the rest of this yourself. If you are, give it a go. If you want, pause this, have a go and see if you're correct, or continue watching along. Now I want this to be a little bit of a challenge for you. Par is average. If somebody, let's say for example the average is 3 and somebody makes it in 3, so in other words the number of strokes is 3 and the average is 3, what do you think would go into here? Well, we are going to say that strokes is equal to par. So in other words, if the person made it in 3 shots and the average is 3 shots, then that means that strokes is equal to par. Then we can return, and what would we return? That's right, we would return names at the position of 3. Next we have bogey, which we're going to say is par plus 1. So the person made it in a 1 shot above the average, and that's going to return names at the position of 4. And finally, double bogey, can you guess what that means? That means par plus 2. And that will return names at the position of 5. And then finally, to finish it all off, we use an else. This does not need anything within there. Rather, we can simply just do this, because we're saying here that if none of these conditions are met, then do this, which is return names at position of 6, which basically means the person's made it. If the average was 4, the person's made it in 7. Let's just say it's that. Now we press Control and Enter, and we check, and we can see that it is completed. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you find it useful. I will provide some useful links in the description, which will be related to if and else if statements, so you can read through that as well.